What if I told you butterflies can taste with their feet? Yep, their feet aren't just for walking. When a butterfly lands on a plant, it can actually use special sensory organs on its legs to detect chemicals on the surface. So while it looks like the butterfly is simply standing on a leaf, it's actually asking a very important question. Is this food? And that's just the beginning. Because for a butterfly, choosing the right plant can mean the difference between life and death. Humans usually taste things with our tongues. We eat something, or taste buds detect chemicals, and our brains tell us what we're tasting. Butterflies have a completely different system. Their feet contain tiny sensory structures called chemoreceptors. These receptors can detect chemicals when the butterfly lands on a surface. Think of them like tiny biological testing devices. A butterfly lands on a leaf, and almost immediately those sensors start collecting information. Is there sugar? Are there plant chemicals? Is this the right kind of plant? The butterfly doesn't need to take a bite first. It can gather important information simply by touching the plant. It's almost like having a taste detector built directly into your shoes. Imagine walking into a restaurant and knowing whether the food was good just by stepping on the floor. That's basically the butterfly version of tasting. But why would a butterfly evolve something so strange? The answer becomes much more interesting when you look at the butterfly's life cycle. Adult butterflies usually drink liquids such as flower nectar, but their babies, caterpillars, have a completely different problem. Caterpillars need to eat, and they can eat a lot. So female butterflies have to be extremely careful when choosing where to lay their eggs. They don't want to put their eggs on just any random leaf. They need to find a plant that their future caterpillars can actually eat. And this is where those special sensors become incredibly useful. A female butterfly can land on a plant and chemically examine its surface. If the plant has the right chemical signals, she may recognize it as a suitable host plant. If the chemical signals are wrong, she can simply fly away. So those tiny sensors on her feet aren't just helping her find dinner, they're helping her decide where her babies should begin their lives. When you look at a butterfly, it's easy to think of its legs as simple little walking tools, but they're much more complicated than they appear. Butterfly legs contain sensory structures that allow them to detect their environment. And when they touch a plant, those sensors can respond to chemicals on the surface. This means a butterfly is constantly interacting with the world through physical contact. A human might look at a green leaf and think, it's just a leaf. A butterfly could be receiving a completely different amount of information. It may be detecting chemical clues that we can't see, smell, or even recognize. To us, two leaves might look almost identical. To a butterfly, they could be completely different. One might be the perfect place for her offspring. The other might be useless. So when you see a butterfly land on a plant and stay there for a moment, don't assume it's resting. It might be testing the plant. And here's another fascinating detail. Butterflies don't rely on their feet alone. Their mouth parts are also important for detecting and consuming food. Their long straw-like proboscis allows them to drink liquid food, especially nectar. So butterflies essentially have different sensory tools for different jobs. Their feet can help them investigate plants. Their antennae help them detect their surroundings. Their eyes give them visual information, and their proboscis allows them to drink. It's almost like their entire body is equipped with specialized sensors, and all of these systems work together. A butterfly doesn't experience the world exactly like we do. It sees colors differently, it detects chemicals differently, and it can use physical contact to gather information we would normally associate with taste. Now, imagine if humans had the same ability. You walk into a supermarket, touch an apple with your foot, and instantly know if it's sweet. You step on a strawberry, and your brain tells you whether it's ripe. You walk across the kitchen floor and suddenly know someone spilled sugar 3 minutes ago. It sounds ridiculous, but for butterflies, it's completely normal, and it gives them a major advantage. Their world is full of plants, flowers, predators, and potential food. Being able to chemically taste the environment helps them make better decisions, all through something as simple as taking a step. So the next time you see a butterfly land on a leaf, look closely. It might not just be resting. It could be tasting, testing, and deciding whether that plant is safe for its future babies. Butterflies don't need a tongue to taste a world. Sometimes, all they need to do is take one step. Nature is strange. Nature is clever. And sometimes, nature tastes with its feet.